Hi everyone, Buzz here from Buzzin' Around the World. I'd like to welcome you to my video about my 9-day journey through Israel, a land where ancient history meets modern vibrancy. From walking in the footsteps of biblical figures to floating in the Dead Sea, this trip was nothing short of incredible. As a global studies teacher, visiting Israel wasn't just a vacation. It was an opportunity to see firsthand the places I've taught about for years. This itinerary is designed to help you explore the must-see sites while leaving room for personal discoveries. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or just looking for your next adventure, there's something in Israel for everyone. In this video, I'll take you through every moment of my journey, sharing tips, stories, and all the unforgettable experiences I encountered along the way. So if you're ready to plan your own perfect trip, or simply explore Israel from the comfort of your home, stick around for my 9-day adventure. I arrived at Ben Gurion Airport early in the morning. I was pleasantly surprised at how smooth the customs process was. I'd heard plenty of stories about challenging security checks, but for me it was straightforward. Just a quick question about my travel plans and I was on my way. I had pre-booked a shuttle to my hotel, the Seven Seas, which was right by the beach. Although the driver was delayed due to airport security traffic, it gave me time to grab a quick bite to eat. Once I arrived, the 30-minute ride to the hotel felt like a breeze. Knowing I'd arrive early, I booked my hotel for the night before. This way I had plenty of time to rest and recharge. After a much-needed nap and shower, I spent the afternoon soaking in the vibrant beach atmosphere of Tel Aviv, a perfect way to ease into my trip. Day 2 was all about adventure and history. I joined a guided tour of Masada and the Dead Sea with Ben Hiram, one of Israel's top tour companies. The day started bright and early with a shuttle picking me up at 6:20 a.m. On the way, we stopped at the sea level marker, a fun reminder that we are heading to the lowest point on Earth. Next, we visited the Ahava factory, where I learned about their beauty products made with Dead Sea minerals. The highlight of the morning was the trip to Masada. This ancient fortress, perched high atop a mountain, has a dramatic history tied with King Herod and the Roman siege of 73 A.D. The views from the top were incredible, and the cable car ride was an experience in itself. In the afternoon, we headed to the Dead Sea's Kalia Beach. Floating in its warm, salty waters was surreal, like nothing I've ever felt before. Despite the scorching 110-degree heat, it's a must-do for anyone visiting Israel. On day 3, I slowed things down and explored Tel Aviv on my own. The morning started with a dip in the Mediterranean Sea, where the water was crystal clear and refreshing. Tel Aviv's beaches are perfect for relaxing or taking in the city's vibrant energy. In the afternoon, I set out on foot to Yaffa, an ancient port city that's now the hub of art and culture. The walk around the Tel Aviv promenade was beautiful, with views of the coastline and the city's skyline. I even passed through Sir Charles Clore Park, a peaceful green space that hugs the shoreline. When I reached Yaffa, I felt like I was stepping back in time. Its narrow streets and bustling markets were full of charm, and the local shops and boutiques were a joy to explore. Yaffa is a place you could spend hours wandering. It's truly a gem of Tel Aviv. Day 4 took me on a spiritual journey through some of the most significant places in Christian history. I joined another guided tour, starting with Nazareth, the childhood home of Jesus. Visiting the Basilica of the Annunciation, built atop the grotto where Gabriel is said to have visited Mary, was truly moving. Nearby, we stopped at the Church of St. Joseph, which stands over what is believed to be the childhood home of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. From there, we traveled to Capernaum, known as the town of Jesus. Walking through the ancient synagogue and seeing the ruins that date back to Jesus' time was like stepping into a living Bible story. Finally, we visited the Sea of Galilee, a peaceful spot with deep religious significance. Although this stop was brief, the serene beauty of the area left a long-lasting impression. Day 5 was a rest day, giving me a chance to recharge before heading to Jerusalem. I decided to take the train, which was both affordable and incredibly convenient. The ride itself was scenic, passing through lush countryside and small towns. One thing to watch out for is taxi scams. My driver tried to convince me that the trains weren't running, but thankfully I trusted my instincts and headed straight to the station. Sure enough, the trains were operating as usual. After arriving in Jerusalem, I spent the day exploring the city at my own pace, soaking in the atmosphere of this ancient yet bustling metropolis. Day 6 was all about the spiritual and historical heart of Jerusalem. I joined a guided tour of the city's holy sites, starting with a stop at the Mount Scopus viewpoint. From here, you can see the entire city, a breathtaking view that truly sets the tone for the day ahead. Our first major stop was the Western Wall. Standing before this ancient site, steeped in religious and cultural significance, was a humbling experience. I even tucked a small prayer into one of the cracks in the wall, a tradition I'd always wanted to partake in. Next, we visited the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built on the site where many believe Jesus was crucified, entombed, and resurrected. Walking through this historic church, especially standing by the Stone of Anointing, was an emotional moment. To end the day, we visited Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum. While no photos are allowed inside, the exhibits were powerful and deeply moving. Yad Vashem serves as a solemn reminder of the atrocities the Jewish people faced during the Holocaust, and is a must-see when visiting Jerusalem. Day 7 took me beyond Jerusalem, into the Palestinian-controlled West Bank, where I explored Bethlehem, Jericho, and the Jordan River. Bethlehem was our first stop as we visited the Shepherd's Fields, where angels are said to have announced the birth of Jesus. The Church of the Nativity, built over the exact site of Jesus' birth, was a highlight. Standing there felt surreal. Next, we drove to Jericho, one of the oldest cities in the world. Riding the cable car to the top of the Mount of Temptation offered incredible views and a sense of adventure. We also explored the ruins of the ancient city, imagining the stories from thousands of years ago. Finally, we visited the baptism site of Jesus Christ along the Jordan River. While some members of our group chose to be baptized, I took the time to reflect on the history and significance of this sacred location. The combination of history, faith, and culture made this day unforgettable. Day 8 was an adventure outside of Israel, as I took a marathon trip to Petra in Jordan. The day began before sunrise with a 3 a.m. pickup and a 6-hour journey to the Israeli-Jordanian border. Crossing the border was straightforward, but it did take some time due to security checks. Once in Jordan, the excitement built as we approached Petra, one of the 7 new wonders of the world. Walking through the Sick, a narrow canyon with towering rock walls, felt like a journey back in time. And when the Treasury building finally came into view, it was absolutely breathtaking. A true bucket list moment. While there wasn't enough time to see all of Petra, the main sites left a lasting impression. We returned to Israel late that night, exhausted but fulfilled. Visiting Petra in one day is a challenge, but it's absolutely worth the effort. The final day of my trip was all about getting home. I started with a train ride from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport, appreciating one last look at the Israeli countryside. Checking out of Israel was more involved than entering. Before I could even check in for my flight, I went through an exit interview, where the agents asked detailed questions about my trip. It's a thorough process, but one that is needed to keep the people of Israel safe. Once I was cleared, I boarded my flight to Warsaw, where I would connect to Chicago. As I left, I reflected on this incredible 9 days packed with unforgettable experiences. This trip was everything I'd hoped it would be, and more, and I can't wait to return one day and explore even more of Israel. Thank you for coming along with me on my 9-day adventure through Israel. I hope this video has inspired you to plan your own trip, or simply appreciate the beauty and history of this incredible country. If you enjoyed this journey, please smash that like button, leave a comment with your favorite part, and don't forget to subscribe for more travel adventures. Until next time, this is Buzz from Buzzing Around the World. Happy travels.